This is TechVibe Radio. It's your front row seat to Pittsburgh's technology and innovation ecosystem. TechVibe is brought to you by the generous support of Compunetics at compunetics.com, Chorus Call at choruscall.com, Highmark at highmark.com, Huntington Bank at huntington.com, the Kindling Culture Agency at thekindlingagency.com, PNC Bank at pnc.com, Savior at savior.com, and Studio Me at studiomeproductions.com. TechVibe proudly broadcasts from the Huntington Bank studios. Let's get the show on the road. Fancy seeing you here this morning, Audrey, yet again for TechVibe. I love being in the studio, giving our folks a front row seat to Pittsburgh's tech sector. And we have a guest with us today, Audrey, that I think is really typifying some of the great stuff that's happening here in Pittsburgh. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Great to be here. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. And why don't we jump in?
There's this great company out there called HIKE2. And if you go to HIKE2.com, that's with the numeral 2, you can check out what they're all about. But these guys are all about tech and consulting and solutions and everything in between. And we have Amanda Wodzenski hanging out with us today, who's the founder of it. Amanda, we're so glad to have you here today. You have an amazing story.
Thank you so much for having me. Thrilled to be here. Thrilled to share this story and just share some updates about HIKE2.
I love it. And the energy you're bringing us this morning is making us feel super good. I'm feeling the vibes, Audrey. I'm feeling the vibes.
Give us like the beginnings. Start from the beginning and then we'll jump into where we are now.
Yeah, absolutely. So we started HIKE2 way back in 2019, which sometimes it feels like just yesterday. Sometimes it feels like we've been doing this forever. And really just started with a small group doing mostly SI consulting, a lot of Salesforce work. And wow, like the world exploded. We exploded right along with it.
I like that.
Yeah. So over the past couple of years, the work has really shifted, right? So doing a lot more advisory work. We had acquired a data practice just over 2 years ago now and really built out an AI practice. So doing a ton of innovation work, innovation teamwork, really helping with, true transformation, reimagining businesses. When we take a look at what the future of work looks like, it's a lot more than just the technology. Roles are changing and so many companies, they just don't really know like where exactly to start or how to take what they have forward, what use cases, what technology. So a lot of guidance right now and just, teams of really capable people that come in and bring design skills, technology skills, business skills, advisory skills. So really making a difference for our clients.
You're making me dizzy. It's so much. And on top of that, you kind of put together a pretty massive tech event every year that's going to be coming up March that we'll talk about in a little bit, which I think, your Innovation Summit is always amazing. And so, I think you have an extra hour in your day somehow to try to make some of this come together.
So if we fast forward, there was a lot of activity in 2025 for the company. You want to give like a little bit of some of the new growth or what's new?
Yeah, absolutely. So much of it has been just, with regulated industry, right? Whether it's law firms that we work with legal teams that we're working with just industries that need to follow compliance, right? It's hard to innovate. It's hard to think about, we know we need to think about AI. We know we need to think about some of these emerging technologies, but how do we stay compliant as we roll these out? So I feel like HIKE2 has a really good recipe and a lot of experience to be able to help our clients navigate regulated spaces through technology.
And so can you give some examples? You've done a couple of things in terms of partnerships. Can you talk about, for example, Red Argyle?
Yeah, absolutely. So Red Argyle and ourselves announced our really official partnership. It's, we've been working together for a couple of years now. And so they have some real expertise when it comes to security on the platform and, how we work together with them. So deep engineering skills, a lot of security. So as we come to our clients, we're able to just come with, a viewpoint that we didn't have before. So it's going really, really well for us.
And so when people are thinking about you and you're talking about Red Argyle, can you give like high level, like what kind of problems people might be facing?
Yeah, absolutely. So they've been on platforms for a while, right? They have innovated. They're starting to apply AI, and we really take a couple steps back and say, like, okay, well, what regulations do we need to ensure that we're following? Is our platform compliant? So we're able to do some assessments. We're able to really take a look at some of the things with agents and, whether it's Agentforce or some of the other AI platforms, and just give guidance to our clients about how to move forward with this.
And so you have to have a lot of familiarity with what the regulations, because they're ever changing.
Absolutely. Yes. So, that's why our clients come to us, is because we're able to guide them.
Like, we need help, we need guidance, and that's something you can bring them, yeah.
Then there's also legalops.com.
Yeah, so we do a lot of work with legal teams right now.
Okay.
And so, running legal like a business is a partnership for us, and they're a really neat organization. So I think, legal teams have been really ripe for transformation and thinking about how they run their departments, with the workflow, the automations, how they think about their roles. And so there's a whole organization that is really just set up to help, professionals in this space. And so we're partnering with them and just really bringing some of the knowledge and technology that, I think, a lot of it came to us from some of the other industries that we worked with, but we're able to really repurpose and reapply it with legal teams.
What I love about this is that, like, you're actually making AI like actionable now for businesses. It was an experiment, a thought thing. People thought they had to be on just because everyone's doing it. The cool kids are doing it, but this is like actual things that are helping companies improve operations, make more money, save money, find efficiencies, and so forth, which I think is amazing. Yeah.
I think the interesting thing about legal ops in terms of additive to your portfolio is that you're really talking about internal counsel to big organizations, right? Where they've been doing things probably the same way over and over again.
Absolutely. Well, and there's there's a spend, right? Like a huge spend for outside counsel. And so really thinking about, are we routing stuff the right way? Are we approving things the right way? Ultimately, what does that look like? But I think, when we really look at, opportunities for efficiency, cost cutting, making sure that we can, do the right things, do more with less, all that makes tons of sense.
That's great. That's great. That's just two. What do you have in store for 2026? Anything you can tell us about?
Yeah. So, really doubling down on our, kind of innovation high portfolio platform, the clients that we're working with there. I think that's where everybody's asking the most questions, and we're, investing in those teams tremendously. So lots more to come there.
The thing that blew my mind was before you walked into the Huntington Bank studios here, and I was like, how many folks are working for HIKE2 now? And you're like 100.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's so cool.
Sure. Yeah. Just under 100. So
just under 100. What can you say?
About a third, or kind
That's
of 30
awesome.
plus, right here in Pittsburgh.
Right.
Denver's our second biggest office, and then we have consultants
Nice.
the country.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's great.
And you started that back in 2019. You guys are that's the type of thing we love talking about, because that to me is just amazing. You're hiring lots of people. You're solving really tough problems, which is going to lead us on to our topic when we get back, Audrey. We're going to be taking a break, but I mentioned earlier on the Innovation Summit 2026. It's moving to AI Avenue, and this is something that I think obviously you guys are so appropriate for you to be doing this with how you work with AI every day. You really know how to make the business case for it. So I can't wait to jump into that and talk more about what HIKE2 is up to. In case you just joined us, we are talking to Amanda Wodzenski. Go to hike2.com. That's 2 in there, and check it out. You can also get more on the summit there as well. And last time I checked, if they use the code TechVibe in there, they can get like a discount on attending.
Nice.
So I like the way you made the TechVibe code there. Super fancy. Ooh, I feel official.
Come right back.
We are going to come right back. Okay. In case you forgot, this is Jonathan Kirsting.
And this is Audrey Rousseau.
And the last time I checked, we're with the Pittsburgh Technology Council day in and day out.
We are.
We love helping tech companies succeed. And pghtech.org. You can check out all the ways we love doing just that. We'll be right back, I promise. Studio Me Productions is a full-service video production company based in Pittsburgh. It offers custom video production services, podcast studio rentals, and communication studio build-outs. Choosing Studio Me Productions means investing in a partnership that values creativity and delivers results that exceed expectations. With a deep understanding of marketing and storytelling, Studio Me ensures your project will captivate and engage your viewers. Learn more at studiomeproductions.com. That's studiomeproductions.com. A strong work culture is the invisible force that binds employees to each other, to the company, and to their work. It's linked to better business outcomes, happier employees, and increased retention. How we work and where we work continue to evolve in almost every way, yet our human need for connection and purpose remains. Help your employees connect and thrive by evolving your culture to support your team, regardless of how or where they work. So discover how the Kindling Culture Agency can transform your company's culture at sparksomething.big.com. That's the Kindling Culture Agency at sparksomething.big.com.
CompUnetics is the leading developer of unified voice, video, and data collaboration and conferencing applications for the service provider, government, and unique workflow applications. The Summit Olympus and Evergreen platforms, driven by their encrypted user interfaces, enable powerful and secure collaboration. Combined with world-class support and innovative professional services, CompUnetics delivers the right solution every time. Learn more at compunetics.com.
This is TechVibe Radio, your front row seat to Pittsburgh's technology and innovation economy. TechVibe is brought to you by CompUnetics at compunetics.com, Chorus Call at choruscall.com, Highmark at highmark.com, Huntington Bank at huntington.com, Kindling at thekindlingagency.com, PNC Bank at pnc.com, and Savior at savior.com. TechVibe proudly broadcasts from the Huntington Bank studios. Welcome back. I'm so happy you're spending Sunday morning right here on TechVibe Radio. We love bringing you a front row seat to all things tech and innovation happening here in Pittsburgh. And Audrey, I cannot think of a better person representing some of the cool stuff happening here in Pittsburgh than Amanda Wodzenski with HIKE2, her Innovation Summit coming right around the corner.
March 25th and 26th, so this Wednesday and Thursday of the month. And we're so excited. This is our 5th year to host the Innovation Summit.
Oh, 5 years, yeah. And the big thing for you guys this year is the new location, right?
Yes, absolutely. So, really focused on future of work, right? Roles are changing dramatically. So as much as a technology, conference as this is, it's really about, kind of what's changed. How do we think about change? How do we think about what work looks like for us as we move forward with AI? So new location, really excited about our keynote. So we're going to have a little bit of fun with this. We're bringing Cynthia Freyland in here. She is the on-air predictive analytics expert for the NFL. So we're going to tie together the draft, which we're all getting ready for, to talk about predicting the win and what the NFL draft teaches us about data, AI, and the next era of work. So it should be really fun.
I'm hooked.
Well, we used that tool, predictive analytics, don't we? There's a tool
back in the day. Oh, yeah. With hiring people.
Right.
Yes. Thank God they didn't give me that test back in 1997 because I'd be working at Burger King right now.
That'll be interesting
to
talk about like your personality, your preferences, the world of work, what's changing.
Yes, absolutely. And I think, just the format that we have is fantastic, right? So typically we have a couple of keynotes, main stage speakers, we have some panels, we have some workshops, we have some sessions by really strong speakers. What I love best is we bring people from outside of Pittsburgh here, both as speakers, and every year we have more and more attendees that are coming here to Pittsburgh for the Innovation Summit. So really, just building on the momentum from the previous years.
I love hearing that because we want everyone to come to Pittsburgh and see there's cool companies like HIKE2 here and so many others, and they can get a front row seat to that with this conference. If anyone's listening beyond the borders of Pittsburgh, come on in.
So people are listening, where should they go to the URL?
hike2.com.
You'll find the information
Absolutely.
about the summit on that.
Yes,
To
definitely.
attend.
And I got to say it one more time, Audrey, because I love it. Use code TechVibe and receive a discount on your.
I love that. So what are some things from where you as a practitioner and leader, what are some things that you are seeing that people might be surprised to hear?
Yeah, well, I'm really thinking a lot myself about the future of work and, what skills are even going to be important, whether it's for our employees and how we think about upskilling or reskilling, or whether it's our children and we're like, okay, what should we even study? Make sure that we're employable, as we move forward. Because I think the skills, typically for a technology or a technology consulting company have been very technical, right? But that changes. A lot more that's important is about learning agility, the ability to learn, adaptability, and really just asking questions, the soft skills, so that you're really, human as we're thinking about that. Changes so much because the technology is going to continue to change, but all these things and the ability to think critically and look at the answers that AI is producing and just, evaluate them, have an opinion about them, share them, communicate with them. That's so important. It's harder to become differentiated because suddenly everyone can be smart with the use of AI. So how do you really, protect that ability?
I think something interesting you mentioned was becoming a critical thinker. I think some people feel like we need to think less with it, but only in certain ways. I love the idea that, Audrey and I use chat, Audrey uses Claude's her boyfriend, but we use them all the time for stuff, but we don't take what just gets spit out like us running through that. It becomes this sounding board. It helps you become a better thinker if you use the tool properly, I think.
Well, that the other thing that I worry about is, and I agree with everything that you said in terms of what are those competencies. I hate that we use the word soft because they're the hardest skills.
Yes.
But one of the things that I sort of fret about is that deep domain expertise, right? So how do you learn that? I didn't learn that overnight.
Exactly.
I didn't. And I wound up hanging and working out with different people and learning about business and learning about strategy. And if I just entered that into even a sophisticated, paragraph of prompts, I didn't know the right questions to ask.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm seeing,
So people are coming back and saying, well, here's this. I'm like, you don't even know anything about the business.
And they're coming with confident wrong answers, right?
I love that confident wrong answers.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I worry about that. And,
Absolutely.
And I think that we have to focus on people early in their life to understand, this, math, economics, some of the things that, and even philosophy and things that we have sort of pushed off to the side.
100%.
And I think you bring more to the table that way. And I think you have to learn that early.
Right. And through experience, right? Nothing can replace experience. You learn so much
but then
more.
People aren't hiring a lot of these young people who are coming out of school now.
Exactly.
Hiring's down like 73% in tech.
Yeah.
So where do they get that experience to differentiate themselves? So I hope you explore that.
Yeah. And I think that that's the challenge for us as, kind of business owners and business leaders is we're really going to need to solve for that. We're going to have a future.
And I think HIKE2 is got you're just in this amazing company in this space right now that it's not just changing technology, it's changing the culture.
Yes.
Which is, I think, one of the first we've ever really had in our known humanity, where it's like all of a sudden it's not just the tech, but it's literally changing the way our culture is at the same time. And for you to be able to provide the insights and the guidance to make this actionable for companies so they can make the best decisions around this technology, I think it's just so powerful. So it's like you got a lot on. Be careful. I think is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
To me, it's just very exciting. It's got to be a very exciting place to be.
It is, right? And I just feel so blessed and so honored that we can bring together people to have these conversations.
Yeah. Exactly. So that's why I love the idea of having this summit. You bring people in, you're getting the best minds mashing it up. You bring some new folks into Pittsburgh, and I think it just does a lot of good. And it's not an easy lift. As I mentioned before earlier when we started the show, like you do all this stuff. You're making me busy. And we do this massive event as well. So it's like, that's the type of stuff that makes our region better. I mean, that is something that you're going that extra mile. That's what's making Pittsburgh pop a little bit in a good way.
Well, I'm excited that we're here and that we have, such great minds, such great organizations, such great university, have the tech council. Like there's just so much to draw on in the region. So we're all just
That's
super
great.
fortunate.
We're not resource deprived, that's for sure. So I'm going to mention one last time, if you want to go to HIKE2 with numeral2.com. You can find the links for the Innovation Summit there. And if you're fancy and want to save a little bit of money, go to TechVibe. I just like saying that. I can't help it. Audrey's like so annoyed with me right now, but I got to do what I got to do.
Adorable.
Check that out. Amanda, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We really appreciate your positive vibes and great energy and the work you're doing here to make Pittsburgh pretty cool.
Thank you so much for having me. Really appreciate it.
We love it. Audrey, so much fun.
But we'll be back.
We'll be back. I'll see you tomorrow
I'll see
in
you.
the office.
I'll see you.
Last time I checked, I'll be seeing you again. And I hope you have a good rest of your Sunday, everybody. And of course, pghtech.org. Check it out. Our mission is to help tech companies succeed. Simple as that. We'll see you next week, everybody. Thanks for geeking out with us on TechVibe Radio. Tune in next Sunday for more tech and innovation stories right here from Pittsburgh. Get TechVibe wherever you get your podcasts and never miss a show. TechVibe is brought to you by the generous support of Compunetics at compunetics.com, Chorus Call at choruscall.com, Highmark at highmark.com, Huntington Bank at huntington.com, the Kindling Culture Agency at thekindlingagency.com, PNC Bank at pnc.com, Savior at savior.com, and Studio Me at studiomeproductions.com. TechVibe proudly broadcasts from the Huntington Bank Studios.